Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Alright guys, I did a video before this one. It was the getting the fitment off this front diff to fit into this LT or King Motor Sashi. Okay, so it turned out to be one of two series, should be the same Losi wise, version 1.2. So I ended up straightening out the sashi. It was a bit more bent in there. I managed to get it out to get this FID diffs you buy on AliExpress. Alright guys, so yes, we managed to get it in. Mate, this is a lot more work than a budget, but at the end of the day, once you set it up right, you won't look back. In the first video I made, I did put this diff together, and I had a bit of problem with the metal inserts in here to get the two diff halves together. So I did machine it a little bit on one side and the other, and I managed to collapse it, and yeah, that's all good in the back. So I took these diffs out and I put a million weight in these diff centers, and the plan is to run a locker on here, so that way the power wise should wheel stand with this 45. And plus if you break one shaft, at least it's going to come back to you, because you've got a lock there, so you're either going to have front wheel drive or rear wheel drive, and that's the beauty about having a locker in that middle diff. Anyway guys, so drama after drama, I finally got this in, and I worked out there was too much play in this pinion backwards and forwards when I put the cup wires on for the shaft for the front, which the shaft was worn out on the front shaft, and I ended up putting a new one in. And basically I got the normal shim on the inside on the pinion inside, but mate, I had a fair bit of play in here, and I ended up putting a copper washer in here to get that end play in there. Otherwise it would have just all over the place on the pattern wise on the meshing on the gears on the crown wheel. So yeah, that's a bit of work. Now on top of that, I could tell you what not to buy on AliExpress. I'm not sure. Rovan sells these, but I don't know if the Rovan's better or not. But these are on AliExpress. They didn't had a different package who made it. But the problem what I found was, you really got to know what you're doing, put them on the right side and all that type of thing. You'll know when you come to it. What I found was, inside this plate, it should have been drilled, the rear plate should have been another 3 mils back. Because to fit the front piece, you don't use the other piece, the in-between wires and that, you bolt that straight onto that. This goes on the rear, and what I found, I had only 3 mil wouldn't close in. In other words, I had 3 mil in between this front brace and to the diff. So realistically, I actually measured it inside. It really needed another 3 mil, and that would have left you a mil inside material on the end of that cap of that brace. It's the same way. It's drilled right on the front, and you got about a mil material on the end. Okay, so to be honest, I would get one from Taylor. I wouldn't bother, but that's what I'm going to do. So basically, I didn't want to shorten the pins I had. I used a barger, the longest pin I have on the barger on the rear. Lopped it off on the end, and I just keep machining till I had a snug fit. So virtually the original pin, what would have been in there, you got to take 3 mils off. But use a pair of verniers first. Pre-fit everything first before you go straight ahead, and to make sure everything fits. You do got to pre-fit it. So I found these, and even the holes in the pinions are a slight slop in it. it's pretty rigid as it is, but when Taylor gets an order in of the all-wheel drive stuff, because they've got a lot of stuff out of stock, these are the first things I'm going to replace and put their U-boot braces on, because these are they're not worth the trouble. And you guys, you're sitting there working out right. Realistic, the whole the Diff wire should have been another 3 mil. So instead of ruining the pins what I had in there, I had some Barger second-hand ones, and I basically worked out to be 3 mil less than the original ones. It goes in there. Then I put that in there. Now I've got a snug fit. So you got a pre-fit, and what you got to do, you don't finalise Loctite anything on these yet. Fit it all in. Bolt it up underneath, right? You find it is a bit tight there. Back off these off here, okay. Get your swinging wires. They do rub a tad in that spot underneath there. You can Dremel a little bit out, but eventually it will wear out clean. But I'm not really too worried now. The hard work's done, taking all the slack end play out of this pinion. So, you know, the preload's sort of roughly where it is. So, no, it's coming along, but, mate, that took me friggin' ages to do that. So, you guys, you're going to come across this, and this is what you got to do. You got to pre-fit everything before you, okay, go light tight everything. Then you put it all in and realise, oh, that's not working out. It's not working out. And finally, I got it out, and believe me, it took me some hours just to get to the stage to where this should be, guys. Yeah, so when I do a order with Taylor, yeah, that's one of these braces will be the ones I want, and you want some sort of a bush system in it, but I got these tight. Yeah, it's all good. So anyway, guys, so I've got to put all that together. Then I've got to crack the new battery box system and all that. And so the servo, the way it works out, the servo is the right angle going to your push and pull on this system. Yeah, so yeah. All right, guys, I'm out. And just remember, it's method or madness, and may the force be with you, and I'll see you on the next one.